Ngicela sisukume, may we all rise as the procession is about to enter the hall.
By virtue of the powers vested in me as the acting Chancellor of the University of Zululand, I hereby consecute this congregation for the conferment of degrees and awarding of diplomas and certificates. You may be seated.
The Chancellor, Chief Justice Raymond Miamezelu Zondo, in absentia, Chairperson of University Council, Ms. Noma Rashia Kaluza, in absentia, Deputy Chairperson of University Council, Dr. Andrew Kaniki, Acting Chancellor, Prof. Kodiswa Mtose. I'd also like to acknowledge the Honorable Deputy Minister, Putimala Manamela, who will be our guest speaker. Members of Council, President of Convocation, Mr. N.L. Nkwanyana, in absentia, Chair of the Institution Forum, Professor Khailing, members of Executive and Extended Management, members of Senate, all university staff members, members of the Convocation and alumni, representatives from the Mkwanazi Traditional Authority, chiefs of the local traditional authorities, mayors of the districts and local municipalities, SRC President Siemugela Kumalo, business partners, donors and sponsors, the student body at large, parents and guardians and relatives of the graduates, most importantly, our graduates. Good afternoon, Sanibonani Molweni. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of Zululand, Professor Kodiswa Mtose, it is with sense of profound collective triumph that I welcome you to the fourth of the series of the 2023 graduation ceremonies that are lined up to take place this week. These occasions have become an annual ritual where all of us, graduates, parents, guardians, sponsors, society as large, as well as university staff, commemorate the pinnacle of the work we have done over the years. Beyond the festivities, a graduation ceremony must be seen as a moment of deep reflection. It symbolizes a bridge we cross in a lifelong journey of human progress, from basic and foundational knowledge encountered and acquired during the first time we interact at chalk floor, to the attainment of higher order knowledge, skills, and competencies that equip us with capabilities for making a difference in society. In this sense, the awarding or conferment of a qualification is not an end in itself. It is rather a motivation for lifelong learning that should bring up new imaginations for the development of a better life of all, free from the shackles of poverty, inequality, and other forms of human strife. Indeed, the ideals of creating better life for all are implied in the debates about the purpose of university education. At the University of Zululand, as I will illustrate later, we subscribe to a perspective which advocates and promotes a form of education that produces and disseminates knowledge and competencies which enable graduates to engage in meaningful and productive work aimed at enhancing the livelihoods of the people or the community at large. In this connection, we draw insights of thinkers like Frank Fanon, who advocate that what matters is not to know the world, but change it. He further wrote, "In the world through which I travel, I am endlessly creating myself." The purpose of university education, driven by such thinking, must manifest at three levels of society: at the macro, at the meso, and at the micro. At the macro, or a wider societal level, one of the main implications to derive from Fanon's words of wisdom is that the number and quality of graduates that exit universities must constitute the building blocks and catalysts to be deployed for the development of a learning society or a society that learns. Scholars like Hen have described a learning society as a model society in which collective learning is prevalent, equipped with competency to solve the problems inside by itself through consistent emergent evolution and learning. Striving to achieve the status of a learning society is commended as a game changer in the transformation of a given political economy and the attainment of sustainable development. We therefore must look up to our graduates to become the promoters for the creation of a learning South African society. The melting pot for all this is at university or meso level. At the University of Zululand, we have embraced the responsibility to build a learning institution, one where continuous learning is used to transcend stifling preoccupation with survival demands and setting the organization to a higher order service-oriented growth. The history of Unizulu attests to a trajectory that has seen the institution emerge from proverbial age of abyss, it being posed between failure and success, and evolving to become a rekindled university that is being set onto a path of reinvention anchored on an unexcelled Vision 27 under the mantra of building Unizulu as a node of African thought. Launched in 2022, we can appreciate the significance of the idea of African thought when we compare it with the Western thought of worldview. We can recall that in recent years, South African universities had to deal with hashtags, student campaigns, which called for a decolonized university curriculum, describing the current curricula as Western-oriented and alienating, and citing, among other things, the use of Western-based literature to support learning. The student movement also resonated with a growing body of contemporary academic intellectual currents that have characterized the curriculum in African universities as one of the main mechanisms by which colonial power constitutes to be exercised in ways that sustain the oppressive world order Much like what Steve Biko observed, that the most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Put in another way, by continuing to subject students to a curriculum aligned to the oppressor, the colonizer achieves compliance through mental control or the way people think. Such a state of affairs is not only dehumanizing, it also clearly shows a purpose of education that is in dissonance with the objective needs and interests of our people. In this way, the University of Zululand Vision 27 envisages a nuanced understanding of the purpose of university education. It goes beyond a narrow conception of education which promotes employable but dehumanized human capital to one that encompasses emancipatory and liberative functions. In other words, while university education can be used for subjudication at Unizulu, we keenly subscribe to the view that it also plays an important, preeminent role in the development of public consciousness, in the generation of new knowledge and competencies that are necessary for meaningful functioning in a complex and ever-changing modern society. Inside the melting pot of universities are individual students who, in final analysis, constitute the locus of investment in the decolonization and transformation efforts. It is at this micro level that transformative learning takes place and gets aggregated at societal level. In this connection, the University of Zululand has continually paid attention to the enhancement of graduate attributes or graduateness. Our motivation has been to help students acquire a set of personal qualities, competencies, and values over and above the cognitive skills of their discipline. Activating graduateness includes the development of certain attitudes and orientations towards the labor market, self-development, and responsible citizenship. The purpose here is to strike a balance between education for the marketplace and education for good citizenship, so that by the time a student exits the university, he or she is a rounded individual. By allowing a student to graduate, the university is therefore making a powerful statement about the individual's readiness to take up his or her rightful place as a productive citizen in an increasingly complex and unpredictable world. It is a world in which, on one hand, a graduate has to grapple with challenges of correcting the past by participating in the recalibration of development in terms of local indigenous population in a way that reestablishes their dignity and self-determination. And on the other hand, championing in an inclusive way the so-called smart approaches to development in the context of the fourth industrial revolution, digital and technological advances. There is no option to ignore or even choose to prioritize these imperatives of modern South African life as they have become embedded in the purpose of university education. In 2023, this year, we are graduating a total of 3,542 students, 3,128 of which are undergraduates, 289 honors, 77 masters, and 48 doctorates. The quality of the graduates we produce is as important as the number that successfully meet the requirements of their qualifications. In this respect, the purpose of university education is to achieve equity to student success. The University of Zululand, as a so-called historically disadvantaged institution, has made huge strides towards flattening the statistical curve that was showing severe underperformance of the underprivileged students who constitute most of our students. Our strategy of making student success the driving force of our teaching and learning practices is showing results. In one of his books, The Pedagogy of Heart, a Brazilian educationist, Paulo Freire, wrote that I recognize the obstacles, but I refuse to resign in silence. This statement captures the spirit with which we are overcoming impediments to achieving equity of student success. As I conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you, the graduates, to join the University of Zululand Convocation. This is a statutory body of which you automatically become a member by virtue of obtaining a qualification from this university. The convocation elects members of university structures, it elects members to university structures, and through its affiliate alumni associations, supports the work of the university in many other ways. We hope that as alumni, you will be able to contribute to the success of the university in a number of ways. We are also confident that the success you are celebrating today will energize you to effectively ensure that your alma mater continues to soar to greater heights of excellence. Once again, a warm welcome and wish you a meaningful and productive life after university. I thank you. Acting Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Honorable Deputy Minister Buti Manamela. Honorable Buti Manamela is the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation since 2019. He is former Deputy Minister in the Presidency, former Deputy Minister of Higher Education from 2017 to 2019, and has been a Member of Parliament since 2009, a member of South African Communist Party Central Committee since 2012, and was elected into the ANC National Executive Committee in 2022. He holds a master's degree in public policy and development management and studied digital electronics at the Tshwane North TVET College, former called Mamelodi College. He is also the former Deputy President of South African Student Congress, SASCO, former President of South African College Student Association, now called SAVESTA, and was elected National Secretary of the Young Communist League of South Africa 2003 until 2014. Acting Chancellor, I now invite the Honorable Deputy Minister to the podium to deliver his speech.
Thank you very much, Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Kunene. Let Let me extend greetings to the Acting Chancellor, Professor Mtose, to the Deputy Chairperson of Council, Dr. Kaniki, Deans of the various faculties, academics from various institutions, the university community, more importantly, parents of graduates who have over the last 3 or 4 years supported these graduates through thick and thin and ensured that we give them all that we need. And I know that this support did not only start in the last 3 or 4 years when they came to university, but them leaving you at home and coming to university may have caused certain anxieties as to whether these little ones that you had brought up for so many years, will they ever make it when they join the ranks of university. So I therefore want to congratulate the parents of the graduates for all the work that they've put to ensure that your kids ultimately reach this tipping point of the first degree in their lives. Well, some of them, their second, third, and fourth degrees, so we also congratulate those. More importantly, the graduates yourselves and the student community and friends of those who are here to support those who are graduating. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is of course my honor to speak here at this important occasion, the graduation ceremony of the Faculty of Education for the University of Zululand. Let me congratulate those of you who have defeated the N+1 rule. You have overcome this. And I want to start my speech by telling you a story, not about Nelson Mandela, but about a woman who made education fashionable and who I want you to fashion yourself or even be better than her. In 1994, just on the eve of the national general elections, this country was almost on a precipice of a civil war. KZN was almost the epicenter of this violence, and Unizulu itself was not missing in action. And through countless meetings and negotiations between the leadership of this country, finally all political parties in the country agreed to participate in the national general elections. As a sign that these were to be a peaceful election, Nelson Mandela chose to cast his vote at Ohlange High School, which was founded in 1901 by Nokutela Dube, who was also the founder and wife of the first president of the African National Congress, John Langalibalele Dube. She attended a missionary school in Inanda, and because of her academic prowess and her husband's calling as a minister of the church, they both traveled locally and abroad to teach both the word of their God and the children of the world. However, in her travels, she always knew that she had to come back home and pay it forward to those who had invested their time and resources teaching her how to read, write, and accumulate knowledge. Founding a school today may be one of the simplest goals one can achieve. But in 1901, being black and being a woman was no small hurdle. But this dedication and commitment, she pushed ahead with her dream of educating the black child by establishing Ohlange High School. She gave her life into this trade when she did not need to, but because she realized the transformative power and value of knowledge, and that it remained the one thing you can share without losing it, and possibly gaining more out of it by sharing. As Paul Frere, Acting Vice Chancellor, always insists that through teaching, we are always learning. The illustrious list of names that are products of this university includes Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Judge Sisi Kampempe, Sibongile Khumalo, Dr. Musibudi Mangena, Dr. Hlengiwe Mkhize, Judge Mogoeng Mogoeng, and of course our current Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Bonkosi Blade Nzimande. With this rich list of your alumni, you are stepping into the shadow of men and women who helped shape the future of this country. These are men and women who took the honor of graduating from this university and used it to the best of their people and their nation. However, I do not urge you to be like them. They walked these corridors in the toughest and thickest of time in history. The adversity that confronted them, the legislated hate that was meted against them, the narrow path that lied ahead beyond the gates of this university is what shaped them. I urge you to do better than them. Yes, our post-school education system has its inherent structural problems, but it is one of the best in the continent and can stand head and shoulder with the best amongst the world. The limitations that were imposed on these giants whose shoulders and footsteps you are walking on are not but a thing of the past. When I say be better than them, one of them is Penuel Maduna, who left this campus in his late 20s to go into exile to join the ANC in Lusaka. He became instrumental as one of the first crafters of the constitution of our land. He and many others who donned the graduation gap of this university understood that they have become the merchants of Ongoye, as this university is popularly known. And thus I say, you dare not forget that you are walking in the shadows of giants, and you should never forget that mere mortals who became giants left footprints for you to follow. Others, as I said, have walked this route and showed the world that besides what apartheid intended with Ongoye, it turned rough boulders into diamonds that continue to glitter the world. When you live here, remember that every school in the province should have an educator from here, every court a legal fundi from Ongoye, every clinic a nurse from this alma mater of yours, every mine an engineer, every covered inch of this country where there are graduates who are needed. You should ensure that they are from this university. And you now wear the honor and badge of saying, I went to Ongoye and I graduated. We're graduating students from the education faculty. Teaching is one of the most important professions our country needs. We have here a group of young people who will become an army. We're graduating a group of young people who will become an army in our classrooms across the country. You will be deployed in almost every nook and cranny of this province and country. I do not know what inspired you to become educators. It could be because some of you saw your teachers as role models. They were the only other adults outside of your parents whom you interacted with. They instilled in you a sense of discipline, commitment, and gave you the very foundation of knowledge and showed you how to go and hunt for more. They shaped the manner in which you are going to see the world. They help you stay on course when it seems the road is too long and full of insurmountable difficulties. You trusted them. And even though you doubted that 1 + 1 is equal to 2, you took their word for it. And today, because of the investment that all teachers in your life, you have crossed the first box of education at a higher level. I'm not inspired only by teachers in schools, but the teachers also at home who played a greater role in my own life. Both my aunts and my uncle were trained teachers. Not only were my aunts teachers, but they also went on to become principals in their respective schools. They also went on to study further beyond their diplomas or degrees. They are heroes in our family, but also in our communities. The teaching profession remains one of the most important and valuable professions. The extent of the impact and reach that teachers have in society is immense. One always remembers their first boyfriend, but also one always remembers who their first teacher were. But not all teachers are good ambassadors for their professions. Some have committed crimes worse than society can comprehend. A few amongst those who practice this profession do go to school under the influence of alcohol. Others have sexual relations with the school kids. Some even use violence to instill discipline, while some do not even bother to ensure that they do their best or even beyond the call of duty to teach the kids to the best of their abilities. I want you to be a better type of a teacher, the one who understands the children that they teach, their weaknesses and their strengths, what their family background is, and who their parents are, if they have any. whether they do have a meal before they come to school, are they being bullied at home or at school, which may affect their studies? Can they hear or can they see? And if not, or if they can't perform these two tasks, how can we be able to help in order to advance the future, particularly of the Black and marginalized child? I want you to also look into the possibility of studying further. We're exploring ways of making education delivery better in the context of our advancing technology. Can we find a better way to deliver lessons in a much more exciting and fun way? Is there a way in which we can think of education beyond the classroom? Some of the older teachers may be stuck, and rightly so, according to them, in the old ways of teaching. This is the way that worked when we did not have Twitter and TikTok. The methodology of teaching is competing with these platforms, sometimes for the best, but at times for the worst. You are the generation that needs to rethink and think beyond the box and get children excited about mathematics, history, languages, science, art, and technology. They say in China, using algorithms, some of the social media is used for learning and teaching beyond the classroom. So TikTok will not necessarily be used for showcasing dancing and singing, important as these are, but should also promote robotics, 3D printing, technological literacy, and many other things that will help children evolve into sophisticated beings. You are the generation that should redefine learning and teaching as we know it. I visited one of the TVET colleges recently and went into their electrical workshop. I met there one of the teachers who have been with the college for some years. He took me through the various stations that he uses to train his students. One of these was the solar installation and maintenance station. He told me how this was not part of the curriculum, but the challenges out there that we know around electricity generation imposed this teaching in his curriculum. So every Saturday, he teaches his electrical students how to run solar energy as a business. In the first week, only two students attended as it was voluntary. It was only when these two students started making money that the rest of the other students became interested. There's a kind of innovation that I'm talking about, and I want you to take this opportunity to also urge you to go and consider teaching at our TVET colleges. It's one of the growing sector that needs better qualified instructors who understand and respect the trade and profession. Currently in our country, we do not have a national youth service that's strong enough and focuses on graduates from our universities and TVET colleges. Most of you today, I'm told, more than 80% would have studied through the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. When this scheme started, all students were expected to pay it back, but now this is no longer the case. So if you've been telling your parents that you're not getting NSFAS and they've been sending you money from home, I'm here to report to them that the state has been taking care of that business, parents. Others were allowed to study for as long as possible, and thanks to the struggles that you waged as students for fees to fall, fees have fallen. But this education is not for free. It is paid by the sweat and brows of your parents through their taxes. It has given you the opportunity to study this far. It has opened a new door of opportunity that if you were born in any other part of the world today, you would not have received this opportunity. I'm here to ask you to pay it forward. I'm not only asking you, the students of Ongoye, but obviously all students throughout the country who have the privilege or are part of the privilege of the 1.2 million this year and costing the national fiscus an investment of more than 49 billion rand. I'm told, Acting Vice Chancellor and Chancellor, that we spend close to 400,000 here in Ongoye to graduate a student in education over a period of 4 years. In some universities, it costs even more. It could go for up to 700,000 to 800,000. And this is the kind of resources that South Africa has invested in you as an individual. And I think we need to applaud that. But what I also want to ask you is to go and contribute in eradicating illiteracy in your communities as part of paying it forward. Go and volunteer in an early childhood development center for a year. Go and fill a gap at a school that has a vacancy but unfunded posts. Go and teach the disabled, the poor, and the destitute. Look for a local NGO that places graduates in international program that has to do with education, and go and learn what is happening in other countries all over the world. Go and teach the elderly who cannot read or write how to. I know that you have challenges of your own. You're probably worried whether you will be employed or get a scholarship to China or Hungary or from this university to study further. But considering a volunteer service will also come with its own benefits. The value of selflessness, of solidarity, of care for our fellow human, social cohesion, and many others that awaits us on the other side of the door. And these are the values which those who've walked in the shadows within which we're walking in today have learned in the hard way. Now you are graduating at a time of peace and therefore have an even better opportunity to contribute and pay forward the contribution that society has invested in you. Importantly, even if you do jump into the world of work, many of you may want to be located in the city lights. Think about where there is the most need. Some of the rural communities do not have teachers that we can look up to, and some of the teachers do not see why they should be locked up in these villages. But it may be important to think of the lives that you can change if you consider working in those particular areas, in those villages, those outskirts where no one goes, but where lives and souls also need to be saved. We need 1 million Nokutela Dubes who will brave the unjust laws, the hurdles that are placed before them, the desire to be self-serving, and the urge to use what we have just for our own benefit. History does not remember those who danced in their own limelight. History remember those who lit the candles for others to see their own way. Go out there, make history and better country. Congratulations and thank you for listening.
Guide us tonight from
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister, for such an insightful and inspiring speech. Acting Chancellor and honored guests, I shall now proceed with the conferring of degrees and award diplomas and certificates. I request the candidates to take up their positions. I call the Dean of the Faculty of Education to present the candidates for various degrees and diplomas. Acting Chancellor, I now have the honor to request the Dean of the Faculty, Professor Ntombela, to present the graduates to you.
Acting Chancellor, I request you to confer postgraduate degrees to the candidates as well as those persons in absentia whose names appear in the program.
By virtue of the power vested in me, I confer postgraduate degrees to candidates whose names appear on the program as requested.
Acting Chancellor, I am now going to present to you our Doctor of Education candidates.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Education on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Mla Robert Dlamini. The title of his study was Examining the Impact of Distributed Leadership Practices on Learner Performance in Selected Secondary Schools in Zululand. He was supervised by Professor Mabusela and Dr. Kapuya. I will request Prof. Mabusela to read the citation.
This study sought to examine the impact of distributed leadership practice on learners' performances in selected secondary school in the Zululand district. A qualitative research design underpinned by an interpretive paradigm was used in the study. Purposeful sampling was used to select 16 participants who were secondary school principal. Data were generated employing semi-structured interviews, and data analysis emerged with themes and sub-themes. Findings shows that distributed leadership practice not only motivate teachers, but require them to recognize their strength and contribute to school leadership by taking on roles that interest them. This study also revealed that some factors promote the enactment of distributed leadership practices, such as enhanced collegiality, trust, joint decision-making, data dialogue, promotions of democracy, and distribution of power. The findings, moreover, noted that school leaders must effectively harness teachers' talent to address complex challenges that permeate through the school community. The study recommends teamwork, consultations, capacity development, executions of plan, and reflective meeting to be encouraged in schools. Furthermore, the study recommends that principals should support teachers, leaders, and conduct on-the-job workshop to upskill teachers in their area of interest. A distributed leadership model of practice was designed to enhance learner performance.
Thank you, Prof. Acting Chancellor, may I present Mla Robert Dlamini for a Doctor of Education degree.
Congratulations, Dr. Dlamini. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Dr. Dlamini. Thank you.
Ngamsile Emelina Mbata. The title of her study is Enhancing the Role of Teachers to Improve Inclusive Education in Full Service Schools at Amajuba District. She was supervised by Professor Ngwane and Dr. Lawrence. I will read the citation. The study proposed to enhance the role of teachers to improve inclusive education in full service schools. The study was conducted with an understanding of inclusive education policy imperatives and legislative framework that seek to address inequities, promote social justice, eradicate marginalization, subjugation, and discriminatory practices in the education system by promoting equality, hope, and justice to all learners, regardless of their socioeconomic and medical aptness. An overarching aim of the study was to enhance the role of teachers in improving inclusive education in full service schools at Amajuba District. The study adopted an organizational readiness theory as a theoretical framework of choice. Qualitative research design and the transformative paradigm were preferred as suitable for this study. Critical discourse analysis was used to analyze and help to interpret empirical data. Findings have shown that as much as educators are willing to advance inclusive education practices in full service schools, there is much still to be done in realizing the ambitions as spelled out in the policy requirements. Acting Chancellor, may I present Ngamisile Emelina Mbata for the Doctor of Education degree.
Congratulations, Dr. Mbata. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Mbata.
Katuchelo Muruvu, her study's title is The Effectiveness of Guidance and Counseling as an Enterprise for Promoting Learners' Academic Performance in Rural Secondary Schools in Vembe District. She was supervised by Professors Kutame and Nzima, and I will call upon Prof. Kutame to read the citation.
Guidance and counseling is an enterprise. Is an enterprise that promotes learner performance internationally. In South Africa, it is offered in schools, although learners continue to perform poorly. The purpose of this study was to investigate the effectiveness of guidance and counseling as an enterprise for promoting learner performance in rural secondary schools in Vembe District. The results established that individual counseling sessions for learners with varying performance improves their understanding, and that when rural learners are offered guidance before writing a task, their performance improves. The study concludes that if guidance and counseling is implemented effectively, the performance of learners in rural areas will improve. The study recommends that the implementation of guidance and counseling be promoted by reviewing areas that need to be strengthened, particularly for learners in rural areas. Ms. Murubu is grateful for funding she received from the National Institute for the Humanities and Social Sciences towards her study. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Acting Chancellor, may I present Khatuselo Muruvu for the Doctor of Education degree. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dr. Moluvu. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Moluvu. Dr. Moluvu.
Azwindini Robert Muchinya. His study was managing curriculum design practices in the teaching of agricultural sciences in the GET band, Vembe district. He was supervised by Professor Kudame and Dr. Kapuya. Dr. Kapuya will read the citation.
Phasing out of agricultural sciences in GET band curriculum and introduction of natural sciences resulted in the infusion of agricultural sciences content in the natural sciences curriculum, which made it difficult for teachers to understand and know much about agricultural sciences. The aim of the study was to investigate the management of curriculum design practices in the teaching of agricultural sciences in the GET band. This was a mixed method study. In a quantitative approach, questionnaires were used to collect data, and the interview schedules were used to collect qualitative data from the participants. The study revealed that agricultural sciences content in the GET band is not included in the curriculum as a standalone subject, and only a section of it is included in the natural sciences, which is difficult for the learner to separate the two subject content. Furthermore, the study recommended that the teachers should be professionally developed in the teaching of agricultural sciences content so that they become relevant to the ever-changing educational environment. These findings helped in the formulation of recommendations pertaining to the present study, which indicates that agricultural sciences should be reinstated as a standalone subject in the GET band. Thank you.
Thank you. Acting Chancellor, may I present Azwindini Robert Muchinya for the Doctor of Education degree.
Congratulations. What have you done? Congratulations, Dr. Muchinya. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Muchinya.
Mlindeni Celintlalo Siyaya, his study was the impact of information and communication technology in teaching accounting in secondary schools, a case of Ilembe district. He was supervised by Professor Gamete and Dr. Uleanya. I will ask Prof. Gamete to read the citation.
This study aims at exploring the impact of information and communication technology in teaching of accounting in secondary school. The study employed the qualitative method, and the data was collected using focus group interviews. The findings of the study reveal that ICT has impact on teaching of accounting in secondary schools. The findings also reveal that many accounting teachers have not adapted to the pedagogical content of the curriculum, let alone the use of ICT in the teaching of accounting. It was highlighted that teachers and learners need to be trained on how to use ICT in the teaching and learning of accounting. The study also revealed the importance of workshops and seminars by Department of Basic Education to assist teachers in developing competency in the use of ICT in secondary school. The study concludes by designing a model that can be used by secondary school teachers to adopt ICT as a teaching tool. The study also recommends that Department of Basic Education conduct trainings for teachers and learners on how to use ICT as a teaching and learning tool in secondary school. The researcher wants to thank the University of Zululand and National Research Foundation for the support in this study. Thank you.
Acting Chancellor, three articles have already been published from this study. May I present Mlindeni Celintlalo Siyaya for the Doctor of Education degree.
Congratulations, Dr. Siaya. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Siaya.
We're waiting. Acting Chancellor, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum Studies.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Glenn Lentikile Lehodu, he studies computer simulations as a pedagogic praxis to enhance understanding of acid base in physical science in Moteo District. He was supervised by Professor Ngwane and Dr. Adigun. I will read the citation. The study aimed at using computer simulations as a pedagogic praxis to enhance learners' understanding of acids and bases in physical science in the Free State Moteo District. Computer simulation was used to improve pedagogy approaches with a concentration on content knowledge, pedagogy content knowledge, and technological pedagogical content knowledge to enhance learners' understanding of acids and bases in physical science. Learners were inept to differentiate acids and bases in real life, nor calculate the pH level of the solution. This stems from non-functioning laboratories, lack of education resources, or unavailability of science labs to conduct acids and bases experiments in certain parts of the Moteo Education District, and especially schools with nothingness of technological integration, such as computer simulation. This intellectual piece adopted bricolage as a theoretical framework, applied participatory action research as a methodological approach to generate data, and critical discourse analysis was used as an analytic technique. The results indicate that an epistemic access in using appropriate technologies and pedagogical practices enhance learning of acids and bases in physical science. A particular recommendation sprouting from this research is that more systemic approaches are needed when planning technology integration, such as computer simulation. Acting Chancellor, may I present Glenn Lentikile Lehodu for the Doctor of Philosophy degree. No.
Dr. Lekhodi, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Lekhodi.
Zanele Carol Mpungose. The title of her study is Curriculum Management in Improving Learners' Performance in Primary Schools, a case in Umhlatuze Circuit. She was supervised by Professors Mhlongo and Mabusela, and Prof. Mhlongo will read the citation.
The aim of this study was to explore the views of educators regarding curriculum management in improving learners' performance in primary schools in Umhlatuze Circuit under King Cetshwayo District in KwaZulu-Natal Province. The objectives of the study were to establish curriculum management challenges faced by educators in Umhlatuze Circuit, to ascertain if there is alignment in policy and practice with regards to curriculum management in schools. The researcher in her research also proposed and designed a model that could be used for curriculum management to improve learner performance in primary schools. The examiners commended the student for proposing an ideal model for curriculum management, as this was found to be lacking in schools at King Cetshwayo District. The findings revealed that while educators enjoy teaching and helping learners to improve their performance, there are many challenges affecting learners' performance that emanate from poor curriculum management. Amongst these challenges, there is a lack of teacher involvement in curriculum management. The study recommends that teachers be drawn into curriculum management processes since they know a lot about the needs of learners and are therefore well placed to manage the curriculum.
Acting Chancellor, I am presenting Zanele Carol Mpungose for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Dr. Mpongose, congratulations to you. I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mpongose.
Sabelo Petros Pagati, the title of his study is Towards a Pedagogical Model of the Teaching and Assessment of Accounting in the Secondary Schools in King Cetshwayo District. He was supervised by Professors Mabusela and Gudame, and Professor Mabusela will read the citation.
This study was informed by the cumulative number of schools phasing out accounting in King Cetshwayo District. The study aimed at developing a pedagogical model for teaching and assessment of accounting in secondary schools. The objectives were to analyze teachers' experiences related to the subject content knowledge, to determine the influence of curricular changes in their daily practice and to their understanding of accounting assessment procedures. The post-positivist paradigm guided this study, and a convergent parallel mixed method study design was used to collect data, analyze and interpret the qualitative data gathered using semi-structured interviews and quantitative data obtained through the use of questionnaires. Social constructivist theory underpinned the study. The findings indicate that there is no guarantee that teaching experiences assist the teacher to have a sufficient content knowledge of the discipline. School lacks of relevant resources and teachers' lack of economics and management sciences content, and certain topics within the accounting curriculum were identified as barriers to effective teaching and learning and assessment of the subject. Recommendations include reskilling teachers using professional development activities that will support mastering and integration of subject content, teaching and assessment strategy. The study concludes by developing an adaptation of a content-based model aiming at assisting accounting teachers to improve teaching and assessment.
Acting Chancellor, may I present Sabelo Petros Pagati for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Congratulations, Dr. Pagati. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Pagati.
Acting Chancellor, may I present the Master of Education, Educational Psychology students to you.
I confer the degree of Master of Education, Educational Psychology on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Masondo, Hlengiwe, Qinisekile. Hlengiwe, Qinisekile, Masondo. You come back, come. Come, Prof. Come, Prof.
Nomtandazo Patience Mdlovu. Geraldine Patricia Ntombizethu Mkhwanazi. Hombulani Hilda Mufudi. Hulisani Paul Nechutuni.
Box, please. Please. Okay, there you are.
Okay. Yeah. So is it? Oh. Siphelele Lindokuhle Ngwenya. Nomsa Nondumiso Shongwe.
Acting Chancellor, Master of Education, Research Methodology.
I confer the degree of Master of Education Research Methodology on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Philisiwe Princess Shabalala.
Acting Chancellor, Bachelor of Education Honors, Educational Management and Leadership.
I confer the degree of Bachelor of Education Honors, Education Management and Leadership on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Nosipho Priority Dlamini. Yes, Mpilo. Snempilo Dumakude. Alice Sanele Gumede. Thabo Mathenjwa.
Acting Chancellor, I request you to confer the degrees, award diplomas and certificates to the candidates as well as those persons in absentia whose names appear in the program. Bachelor of Education, Intermediate and Senior Phase.
I confer the degree of Bachelor of Education,
Intermediate and Senior.
Intermediate and Senior Phase on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Wanda Cebulonkosi Buthelezi. Nhlakanipho Mfundo Dube. Mfundo Praise God Gama. Zamindlela Sabelo Raphael Gumbi. Lungile Gumede. Lwanele Gwamanda. Sinqobile Advocate Kaula. Sinqobile Last Hope Kumalo. Oh, thanks. Spamandla Roni Mabuza. Londiwe Ayanda Makatin. Ayanda Ngobile Mbambo. Nomcebo Karen Mkize. Zamoguhle Miranda Slindile Nguni. Hlengiwe Beauty Mwelase. Velase, sorry. Chu. Mbuso Monde Ndaba. Mhleli Nyandeni. This one. Nkosiyazi Iwet Zulu. Slindile Patricia Zulu.
Acting Chancellor, Postgraduate Certificate in Education, Further Education and Training.
I award the postgraduate certificate in education, further education, and training on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Masha Snekuku Pengu. Nomfundo Nomkhosi Biyela. Bongani Elias Buthelezi. Ntombikhona Tholakele Buthelezi. Philani Emmanuel Buthelezi. Phindile Goodness Buthelezi. Smangaliso Joyce Buthelezi. Thulile Patricia Cele. Oh, it's okay. Bongane Jones Chavane. Alucia Gwanele Kham. Gwanele Skhululekile Dlamini. Lawyer Phumlani Dlamini. Minenhle Mthobisi Dlamini. Ntombi yenkosi Nomvuselelo Dlamini. Samgelisiwe Nogaga Dlamini. Luyanda Dube. Nokuthula Precious Dube. Smangele Petunia Dube. Mmeli wethu Nomvuyo Fakute. Wendi Lungile Gule. Nondumiso Gumbi. Anele Memoria Kumete. Bongani Situnya Maneliswa Kumete. Lisbon Spelele Kumete. Mnotho Mzokhulayo Hlongwa. Nolwazi Fanele Jobe. Slondile Precious Khomo. Londiwe Nozipho Khumalo. Spesihle Londiwe Khumalo. Khanyisile Abigail Khuzwayo. Nobuhle Khuzwayo. Lungisa ntombi zonke Thandeka Kunene. Sphamandla Lulane. Wait. Bradley Bonginhlanhla Luthuli. Nosipho Lihle Mabanga. Mandisi Comfort Kuza Mabaso. Is it you? Nokwazi nokuthokoza Mabaso. Siyabonga Emmanuel Mabaso. Zakithi Mabaso. Bonisiwe Kholiwe Mabiga. Patricia Tochisiwe Mabuyakhulu. Tabani Wiseman Mabuza. Lunga Prosperity Machel. Mesuli Kolani Makwele. Umelelo Viona Madela. Karabo Dineo Mafisa. Zinhle Makoleko. Smangele Lethiwe Makasi. Nokubonga Sindisiwe Makhoba. Mbongeleni Blessing Maphumulo. Nomusa Maphumulo. Sinethemba Zinhle Masinga. Philile Ngoneni Mathe. Inside. Slindile Fisani Mathe. Kumbuzile Khonziwe Mathenjwa. Nonkululeko Nompumelelo Mathenjwa. Sifundo Vincent Mathenjwa. Zethembiso Nqobile Mathenjwa. Nontobeko Mavimbela. Certificate attained with distinction. Thando Mazia. Nomonde Sandile Mbatha. Tulisa Thembelihle Mbatha. Noluvo Mbele. Mbali Mbele, Busiswa Angel Mbona, what's wrong with you? Nompumelelo Thami Mbonambi, Anele Mbutho, Ayanda Zama Mkhunu, Noxolo Mandisa Mdletshe, Siphiwe Siyabonga Mdluli, Sibonga konke Mgenge, Fanele Nokwanda Mhlongo, Fanele Sibonge Mhlongo, Khanyisile Silindile Mhlongo, Nomcebo Mtshatu, Mzwandile Mkhize, Nompumelelo Thembelihle Mkhize, Zanele Thapsile Mkhize, Nothando Mkhwanazi, Samukelisiwe Silindile Mkhwanazi, Sipho Mngoma, Nokwanda Xoliswa Mnqayi, Ntokozo Bright Kenoy Mnqayi, Nonhlanhla Goodness Mtambo, Phindile Sizeni Mnyandu, Thokozani Halalsan Motawung, Nobuhle Nunu Mpanza, Sithuthukile Kwanele Mpanza, Kwanele Thabani Mpontshane, Mvuyelo Ayanda Gcwalisa Mpontshane, Amen, Amen Celinselelo Mpungose, certificate obtained with distinction.
Nomcebo Ngenisile Mswane. Hlengiwe Mthembu. Khethiwe Mthembu. Ndumiso Mzomusha Mthethwa. Slindile Zama Mthethwa. Khayelihle Langelihle Mthiyane. Nokwethemba Thandazile Mtshahe. Ntombeni Ngiphethile Mvelase. Nosihle Fortunate Ngayiyana. Siyabonga Sibongiseni Ndimande. Mfana futhi Ndlanzi. Thembelihle Joyce Ndlanzi. Fisokuhle Mayenziwe Ndlovu. Njabulo Ndlovu. Akakabizwa. I didn't call him. Thanks. Sanele Siphesihle Ndlovu. Wait for your name to be called. Belenkosini Thobelani Ndlovu. Wait for your name. Happiness Nene. Zanele Millicent Nene. So stand up there. Thank you. Come. Sifundo Ivan Ngema. Sethabile Bandile Ngubane, certificate obtained with distinction. Sakhile Ngubeni. Zekhethelo Njilo. Nonkazimulo Nontando Nkosi. Usisipho Noholoza, certificate obtained with distinction. Sakhile Zobaphi Ntuli. Ayanda Khayelihle Nxumalo. Nelisiwe Nxumalo. Slindile Gladness Nyawo. Thanda Nzimande. Zanele Posha Plakis. Snethemba Wandile Shabalala. Sponsile Princess Shandu. Simpiwe Praise God Shandu. Bongiwe Pretty Sbiya. Nomkhosi Samukelesiwe Sbiya. Spamandla Smelane. Nontobeko Princess Sithole. Malusi Mvuselelo Thabede. Nomfundo Sindiswa Thabede. Nonhlanhla Cecilia Thobela. Come and stand here. Sizwe Innocent Thusi. Thulile Lungile Thusi. Hlengiwe Samkelisiwe Loveness Zikhali. Noxolo Nolwazi Zikhali. Zakhele Themba Zikhali. Nontobeko Primrose Ziqubu. Lethukuthula Zulu. Nokulunga Thembeni Zungu. Spesihle Nomfundo Zungu. Is this a new one? Magnificent. Mthobisi Magnificent Zwane.
Acting Chancellor, Postgraduate Certificate in Education, Senior Phase and Further Education and Training.
I award the postgraduate certificate in education, senior phase and further education and training and teaching on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Zanele Happy Bengu. Nonzuzo Biela. Nokolo Kiss Mbali Biela. Wendy Nomcebo Biela. Mbali Buthelezi. Sibekezelo, praise God, Buthelezi. Sinenhlanhla nonkululeko Buthelezi. Hamba. Mandisa Salvatoris Cele. Bongani Chiliza. Bonakele Dladla. Nontokozo Dlodlo. Cebo lakhe Vincent Dubazane. Sinothile Dube. Mpume Nondumiso Samantha Sinenhlanhla Fakude. Siyethemba Senamile Fakude. Sandra Nonhlanhla Gina. Zilungile Funulwazi Hlatshwayo. Jengu Nonjabulo. Ntombenhle Pretty Khumalo. Precious Minenhle Nozipho Khuzwayo. Ntando Lungilo Lubilo. Delani Derek Martin. Mcebo Nathaniel Masango. Lindokuhle Lindelwa Maseko. Sinethemba Mashaba. Bongiwe Jeanette Mashele. Nompilo Masinga. Sipiwe Njabulo Masinga. Fezeka nokubonga Thabile Mathenjwa. Johannes Mkielwa Matibela. Armando Felisberto Matimele. Zenzele Dalingcebo Mayisa. Duduzile Mazibuko. Themba Lamangwe Spesihle Mazibuko. Nosipe Hainet Mbata. Pepelo Ayanda Mbata. Mtobisi Mbuyisa. Nontobeko Penelope Mkhunu. Londiwe Mhlongo. Londiwe must come back. You want her back? Londiwe kabuye. Prof. Londiwe must come back. Mansis. Okay. Buya sis, buya. Boss. Thembeka Siphelele. Thembeka Siphelele Mhlungu. Khayelihle Thuliswa Mkhabela. Lungsani Colin Mfanazi. Nompilo Elaine Mlambo. Dinewo Tubelihle Mloyi passed with distinction. Mnotho Anele Ngwango. Madili Thandeka Mnguni. Ntabiseng Matsidiso Lihlohonono Moloi. Kamgile Nomusa Mpanza. Samgelwe Mpikeleli. Bonile Nonzuzo Pungose. Njabulo Sizwe Msoni. Andile Hopewell Mthembu. Dumsani Willem Mthethwa. Nomfundo Zandile Mthethwa. Nonhlanhla Khethukuthula Mthethwa. Thembeka Nqobile Mtshali. Done.
Banele lafika Mvubu. Snothile Nolihle Myeni. Zanele Teresa Myeni. Snothile Mzizi. Skhulile Zanele Ncanana. Sinegugu Nothando Ndaba. Shiya sisi. Noxolo Ndaba. Khanyisani Ndebele. Sabelo Henry Ndlangamandla. Lungelo Kerry Ndlovu. Mandisa Snethemba Ndlovu. Samgelo Christian Gema. Nqobile Ngidi. Xolile Velile Ngubo. Mlungisi Phathi Nhlabathi. Bonkosi Cyprian Kuna. Simamisa Zikhokhile Ntsele. Zanokukhanya Ntombela. Ntombenhle Lillian Changase. Nokukhanya nokulunga Nxumalo. Khulekan Mzwandile Nyawo. Mbekeni Shabalala. Sizakele Jabule Shandu. Thandekile Shange. Zamani Shezi. Nomcebo Phumlile Sibiya. Oh. Sizwe Simpiwe Sibiya. Londekile Nombuso Sikhakhane. Sebenzile Sanele Tembe. Sithembile Ntimbane. Liva Vusani. Londiwe Xaba. Beauty Busisiwe Xulu. Thembisile Zangwa. Khululiwe Senamile Zikhali. Mandlakayise Christian Zikhali. Sinothile Zikhali. Xolan John Zikhali. Mbali Princess Zita. Siyabonga Zwane.
Hey, okumzala, okumzala, okumzala. Hey, noma ngabe izinto zodaka. Hey, noma ngabe izinto zodaka. Hey, noma ngabe izinto zodaka. Iwe mntanami kusekhaya la. Hey, kusekhaya la. Hey, we. Hey, we mntanami kusekhaya la. Hey, kusekhaya la. Hey, we. Iwe mntanami kusekhaya la. Hey, kusekhaya la. Hey, we. Awubhengi ngazi. Hey, mina kamnandi ubhekisela. Awubhengi ngazi. Hey, ngizohamba ngikuvikela. Kamnandi ubhekisela. Awubhengi ngazi. Kamnandi ubhekisela. Awubhengi ngazi. Hey, ngizohamba ngikuvikela. Kamnandi ubhekisela. Kamnandi ubhekisela. Awubhengi ngazi. Hey, ngizohamba ngikuvikela. Kamnandi ubhekisela. Kamnandi ubhekisela. Hey, kamnandi ubhekisela. Hey, kamnandi ubhekisela. Hey, kamnandi ubhekisela. Awu kamnandi ubhekisela. Hey, kamnandi ubhekisela. Awu kamnandi ubhekisela. Hey, kamnandi ubhekisela. Awu kamnandi ubhekisela. Hey, kamnandi ubhekisela. Kamnandi ubhekisela. Awu kamnandi ubhekisela. Awu kamnandi ubhekisela. Awu umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Awu umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Awu umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Hey, umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Awu umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Jehovah. Awu umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Hey, umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe. Awu umuntu osekhawula lamaqhawe.
Honorable Minister, this is how we rock at Unizulu. We still have one more item for this evening from the faculty. That is the announcement of top achievers. Honorable Minister, we acknowledge and celebrate excellence. And each year, our VC donates prizes for students who have performed above average, students who have topped their classes. Yes, students who have topped their classes and obtained distinctions and summa cum laude. So for this class of 2022, we are giving 2 prizes to Miss Nontobeko Mavimbela. And the second one is going to Mrs. Nenhlanhla Mkhunu. Please come forward. It means there is not here. Are you Miss Mkhunu? Is it Miss Mkhunu? Mavimbela, come forward. Miss Mkhunu, is she not here? Okay.
The Acting Chancellor, Professor X Mtose, the Chairperson of the Council in her absentia, Ms. Kaluza, the Executive Management, the President of the Convocation in his absentia, Mr. Nkwanyana, the Dean of Students, Dr. Ngogazi, the Deans of Faculties, the Student Representative Council members present, the parents, guardians, and graduates. All university staff members present. I see Mam Gema there. All protocol observed. I greet you all, Sanbonan. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you on this day of jubilation. I cannot express enough the feeling of sharing a space and rubbing shoulders with victors. Today, all of us are afforded an opportunity to celebrate our triumph. It is this university management, academic staff, support staff, parents and guardians, and graduates who made sure that we meet here today. We should all rejoice. The victory belongs to all of us. Silapha namhlanje sizobungaza sihalalise kungenxa yenu baphathi besikhungo, kungenxa yenu bafundisi, kungenxa yenu bazali nabaqaphi, futhi kungenxa yenu ma-graduates bafundi. Masijabuleni sonke ngokuba sibe neqhaza kule mpumelelo ebungazwa namhlanje. As the SRC, we know almost all predicaments that University of Zululand students face. Being a black student from poor background in these historically disadvantaged institutions It's not a smooth pathway for all students. It comes with different hindrances. However, we are here today as proof beyond any reasonable doubt that if we are dedicated to the cause, we can overcome against all odds. The words of former president of the ANC in South Africa, President Thabo Mbeki, are much relevant at this point when he said, and I quote, "Those who complete the cause will only do so because they do not, as fatigue sets in, convince themselves that the road ahead is too long, the loneliness impossible to bear, and the pride itself is of doubtful value." Graduates, you have just been conferred your qualifications. Unizulu is known for producing globally competitive graduates. Go out there and represent as well as you become a university convocation. Wherever you go, ensure that the university flag always flies high. Ensure that when you encounter people, especially young ones outside the premises of this institution, they are encouraged, inspired to join the Unizulu community. As you leave to join the labor force, make it a point that you do not forget where you come from, so you know where you're going. Nibazise abanye abantu, ikakhulukazi abamnyama, ngoba thina ndlu emnyama iningi lethu alibanga nalo ithuba elifana naleli lokufunda sigogode sibe bahle njengani. Some of you are graduating for postgraduate qualifications, that's honors, masters, and PhDs. Some of you are graduating for postgraduate qualification, that's honors, masters, and PhDs. As I congratulate you on behalf of the SRC, I would like to challenge you that in addition to your intentions of course, furthering your studies, that you contribute positively to the body of knowledge and to further join a struggle of decolonizing the education system. May all those who agree with the idea of decolonizing the education system so that it reflects the aspirations and experiences of Black people in general and Africans in particular, say, forward with the struggle of decolonizing the education system, forward. Forward with the struggle of decolonizing the education system, forward. Our university, in its goals and objectives, has a vision of becoming a node for an African thought. All of you are graduating here today. From where I'm standing, I view you and recognize you as motive forces towards the realization of this university goal. Kusifanele ukuba sibonge abazali bethu abasikhulisa kanzima basifundisa kwaze kwafika lana. Abanye namhlanje uvuka ithemba lokuthi ikati lizosuka eziko kubazana. Abanye abasenabo abazali. Kodwa ke ngethemba nokukholwa esinakho. Siyathemba ukuba lapha abakhona abazali benu bayanconcoza bayazigqaja ngani. Makukhanya ke namhlanje bafundi graduate zeningabakhohlwa abazali benu. Ningabalibali abazali benu ngoba baba nani sukela ekuzalweni. Benethuba lokuthi benganigcini kodwa bathatha isinqumo bakhetha ukuthi benigcine beniphilise banifundisa ngoba nibahle namhlanje. Bazali, namhlanje lolu suku lweni nani, ukujabula nokukikiza kunifanele. Imizamo yenu iphenduka impumelelo namhlanje. Izithombo zenu enayitshala kule minyaka eminingi eyadlula namhlanje zithelile. Ikabishi leli ebeliyishebo ngalezi ingane zenu ezinhle namhlanje lizophenduka isaladi. Nobhontshisi lobenudla njalo bese uphenduke intombi yendawo ngalezi ingane nowudla mhlanizwa nokukhumbula. Nitshalile kovunile namhlanje siyababona naba abahle. Bafundi, njengomkhandlu omele abafundi siyazigqaja ngani. Nikulwile ukulwa okuhle. In concluding, on behalf of the SRC, I would like to extend a special recognition to a leader, a student leader, who's also graduating here today, by the name of Njabulo Spiwe Masinga. Congratulations, leadership. Also, on behalf of the SRC, to all of you in this house, I would like to say congratulations. Siyanibongela, kyalebogela, siyavuyisana nani, siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Monsieur President. Acting Chancellor, Deputy Minister Honorable Boti Manamela, the Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Kunene, University Management, EXCO and MANCO, academic and support staff, President of Convocation and Alumni in absentia, representatives from the Mkwanazi Traditional Authority, chiefs of the local traditional authorities, SRC representatives, mayors of district, local and municipal special guests, business partners, parents, guardians, relatives, and sponsors. Graduates, most importantly. Let me use probably one of the often used quotation from the late President Nelson Mandela, who stated that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And as the DM said, the Deputy Minister said this afternoon, in your small part, even if you start by volunteering, you can start to change the world. A graduation signifies many things. It indicates progress, growth, and transformation. I am honored to share the momentous occasion with you. This graduation is a validation of your hard work and dedication through the very trying circumstances, including the global pandemic and, of course, the energy crisis, which has, of course, resulted in regular load shedding. Congratulations for graduation under these very difficult circumstances. Your graduation has placed you in the good state to navigate through challenges of life. Stay focused on your goals, otherwise the time, effort, and money that you have spent on university education will be wasted. Your journey as a student may have come to an end today, but you are beginning another one. Please remember that success at work is not achieved through the first month. You need to commit yourself, you need to be diligent at work, and perhaps as Judge Zondo would probably advise us, work with integrity. It's critical, especially for you as teachers. I wish to express on behalf of Council the gratitude amongst the role players in your journey, including, of course, the Vice Chancellor and her Deputy Vice Chancellors, the Registrar's Office, the Deans of Representative Faculties, the Communication and Marketing Division, Protective Service Division, Information and Communication Technology Division, the Physical Planning and Operations, the Department of Health Services, Dr. Mashaba and Sister Mkwanazi, thank you very much, and the cleaning staff, the university, and of course the SRC. Graduates, congratulations once again on your conclusion of your journey. Thank you, Siyabonga, Enkosi, Bayadank.
I request the congregation to allow me to hand over a token of appreciation to our guest speaker, Deputy Minister Manamela, and this is not how we do it, but for this session, because he's rushing for his flight, and that he has honored us with his time as a university in spite of his busy schedule. I'm going to do it here on stage as a way of declaration as well, that I did not give him $1 million, but he's not paid to be at Zululand, at 26 institutions of higher learning, but he's here with us at the University of Zululand. Deputy Minister, this is a token of appreciation for you. Honored guests, I hereby declare this congregation session officially closed. On behalf of the congregation, I thank you for your presence in this ceremony. I request everyone to stand.
Urena bulu kasi chabasa